So today I'll be showing you how to make discipline so enjoyable to the point where it's actually harder to be inconsistent. So first, let's correct the definition of discipline. So for me personally, what discipline means, it's not something that's boring where it's like where you're doing the same exact thing over and over again. It's more so you have different seasons of your life that you're prioritizing. So this can mean, for example, you have a business, or you have studies, or you have a body that you're not happy with, or a certain sector of your life that you want to change. And it's really cool because I was brought up playing games. And so something that's so similar from games to real life is building your character. And I was always so put off from this idea because I used to think it was only a game system, to where the moment I needed more strength to slay the dragon or more agility to dodge the attacks or whatever it may be, I could just add it to my character. But I actually recently found out that this is also applied in real life. And so what does this mean? So recently, I want to say like a year ago actually, I've been getting a lot more compliments on the business I've created. So of course, this is going to be my first video on YouTube, but I've grown multiple pages on Instagram and TikTok to hundreds, thousands, and even millions of followers. And so I'd get loads of compliments on my marketing strategies, on my business itself. And at first, I didn't really know what it meant. And so when I'd go and speak to someone, I'd be called very courageous, very charismatic. And these words were just big words to me. And I knew it was something good to be called, but I just never really knew what it actually meant. To the point where I actually did search up the definition of these words. Why did I do that? Because I realized there were things of my life that I didn't like. And there were things of my life that I wanted for my personal development. AKA maxing out my character. And so just like the games, I've realized that you can pick up these traits, and as long as you know the actual definition and how these certain people with these traits act, you can pick them up and you can have them as your character, and you can have them along with your character. So what I mean by the actual definition is if you're trying to pick up the trait of being charismatic, for example, what does that even mean? We look at people with high charisma and what they look like when they enter a room. Are they greeting everyone? Are they addressing them by their name? Are they smiling when they're talking? Are they more upbeat? How are they talking to one another? Are they remembering people's names? Are they giving you their undivided attention, or are they grabbing their phones and talking to you at the same time? Probably not, right? So that's exactly what I mean by breaking down the definition of the term and looking at others that have it and what they actually do in their practices. So once you realize this, right? If you literally just grab majority of the actions that it takes to be a charismatic person, you will become a charismatic person. You can do this with everything. And guess what? You could also do this with the bad traits, being lazy. What does one typically look like when they're lazy, right? And this brings me back to being disciplined. What I've recently realized is that if you build a life that you genuinely enjoy living, you can be disciplined so much easier than being inconsistent. And that is the trick, is genuinely enjoying what you're plotting down in your schedule. And the truth is, you don't have to be waking up at 4 in the morning. You don't have to be running like David Goggins. You don't have to be like these big guys on your phone telling you to do all of these different things just to be disciplined. All you have to do is stick to a couple of things. I like to stick to 5. 5 things that are most important in that day, which are praying, gym, keeping up with my clients, and whatever the rest of the day may be. So to touch base on what I actually do as a career, I have to kind of explain what I've done in the past, which was barbering. I used to be a barber for 2 years, and then I grew it quite big, and then I've gotten a lot of people asking how to grow their same barbering businesses in the same format that I did. So I took on a lot of barbers and helped them to do the same. So I'm basically a coach for barbers to grow their businesses. And so that basically means the way that I escaped my 9 to 5 barbering was to work 24/7 now, because I don't really have time off. So I love what I do, and that's one of the most important things. But of course, I don't love every single day of it. So a lot of us, when we think of a disciplined life, what we first think of is living a boring life, right? Living a life where you can't just spontaneously do whatever you want, or just fully unappealing because of how difficult it may be. Like, fun is not easy, and it's not as enjoyable as you guys think. Like, what is fun without challenges, without progression? What you're left with is an unenjoyable life because you're not moving forward. And what's going to quickly happen is you're going to see a lot of people around you. And again, it's easier said than done, but you're going to look around you and you're going to see all of your friends or everyone around you that was expecting you to do something. And they're going to be doing their own things and you're not. And so that's not going to be a fun ride. So having fun is actually boring in a sense. So like, look, this does not matter. Waking up at 4:30, 5, whatever, does not matter. And I've learned this the hard way, because I used to think waking up earlier was going to give me more hours. But then you could also say the other way around also is true, where you just stay up, right? But the difference is the distractions. And so what's really important is you realize what truly distracts you. And typically this is going to be a really hard conversation with yourself, really realizing what really takes you off of track rather than getting on board and doing what's actually right. So for example, the main reason as to why I like to wake up earlier is because my clients aren't awake and they're not going to be blowing up my phone. So I could actually make these types of videos and get it out of the way and actually spread the message. If, of course, now it's 9 a.m, I'm going to get blown up with messages, calls, and everything to actually handle, of course, my business, which I'm not complaining about. That is literally what I signed up for, and I'm very grateful for it as well. And that is a trick, is lessening the amount of distractions so you can actually do what's on your to-do list. So for example, if you're an alcoholic trying to stop drinking, it's probably a good idea to stop having that in your fridge, let alone your whole house. And that goes the same if you're trying to lose weight, make more money, or stop spending money, or actually do the work that actually matters. What I like to do is, I'm a very extreme person. I like to be in the extreme category where I completely cut out everything. And I actually like what Alex Hormozi says, where it's a season of no. And that's really important because there's going to be certain seasons and you have to realize what season you're in before you actually take action. Because for example, if you're a farmer, the best time to plant seeds is spring. And I'm actually not too sure how seeds work, but it's probably bad to plant them in winter. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to get at here is you have to realize what type of season you're in order to optimize from there. Once you realize this, that's what you know what to cut out. If it's no longer a season to enjoy yourself and you actually want to think of your future, think of the people you want to have around you and actually be there for, how can you do it? And those are the type of questions to construct into your mind so that you can actually have the answer in front of you. So ever since I've been doing this, my life has gotten so much better. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. It's cool how the world works because I used to watch these types of videos all the time when I was constantly trying to unbury myself from the hole that I was in. And once I'm outside, I now realize how much easier it is to not fall in these holes. Like, once you do it, of course, it becomes a lot easier and it becomes more obvious to do. And if you guys are there right now, just know it's a lot easier than you think. Don't stress on it too much and just do it. Like, One of the best things I can actually give you guys a little quick tip here is when you find yourself to be in these little ruts, don't pick up your phone and look up a video like this, which is kind of counterintuitive because I want you guys to watch this video and the end of it. But I'm being truthful when I say put down your phone and actually stop frying your brains. Like literally sit down and think for a second, for a couple of seconds. The best thing to do actually is go outside and walk. Like, when was the last time you've actually just walked? Not even ran. Don't stimulate your brain at all. Just literally be by yourself and don't listen to anything so you can stop frying your brain. And typically, those thoughts that come to your mind are the ones to have. So seriously, thank you guys so much for watching and being with me and a little glimpse of what it is to be in my mind. And I just hope that you guys have enjoyed this, and a lot more content is going to be coming just like this. So stay tuned for that. And I hope just one thing at least resonated with you, because it typically just takes that one message to really hit for you to gain the motivation and do something. So seriously, thank you guys. So consider subscribing. I'll talk to you guys soon.